Oh. Oh, there you go. There's my chair. All right, let's make sure the mic is on this time. All right, perfect. We're good now. All right, guys, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome aboard to the Aftermarket Recap. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join me today. It is Monday, January 31st, 2022. Turn on my watch. Before we begin, bottom right-hand corner of your screen, there's a little white logo. Click on that, turn on notifications, subscribe to our channel. Make sure to hit that like button if you love these videos. Really do appreciate it. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. I know, kind of a pain in the ass, but all it takes is a little click on the like button, and I won't bug you about it as much. I'll still ask, but I won't bug you as much. All right, let's talk about it today. Nice day so far, right? I would say. Nice Monday. Dow Jones up 406 points. NASDAQ up 3.41%. The S&P up 1.89%. The VIX is down 10.23% at 2483. Equal weight S&P up 1.5%, 155.64. The dollar index down 0.66% at 96.62. 10-year yield 1.782%. Gold ETF gained about 0.59%, 168.09. SLV, which is silver ETF, up up 0.43% at 2080. High yield credit gained a little bit, slightly, 84.70. Investment grade credit, same, but both ended green, 127.76. Russell 2000 futures up 2.47%. I still have IWM calls. They were in the abyss and they bounced back very nicely. Crude oil up 1.53% at 88.15 a barrel. Again, we know what we're targeting, $100 a barrel. 255 for gasoline futures, up 0.82%. And that's where we are. And in terms of crypto today, Bitcoin, 38,458. How much was I up on crypto today? Nice day, 2.78% gain on my crypto portfolio. Ethereum, 2680 right now. So nice. But again, we still need to get to around 40,000 on Bitcoin. That'll really tell us that maybe the worst is over. I would say 42,000 will be the number that we need to break. Now, again, you're going to get volatility with crypto. If you own crypto, this is nothing new. You're basically riding a roller coaster every single day as an investment. But again, that's the highest return you're going to get, at least in terms of sharp moves and declines. All right, let's take a look. I know it's a ton of stuff to go over, but a couple of things just to go off first. Today, the S&P posts its biggest two-day gain since April 2020. Okay, let's keep that in our back pocket for a second. Why is that important? Because we told you guys 4 days ago that 4260 was the bottom. Feel free to take a look at our previous videos. Now, I don't give a shit if I'm right or wrong, or I'm cool or whatever. Who cares? The most important thing is that we get it right. Did we figure out the bottom? Is it smooth sailing from here? That's a two-part answer. So smooth sailing from here is a big word because there's going to be some drops. You're going to get some of that. Investment Club asked me today, like, oh, is it going to be, as bad? You're not going to get anything lower below 4260. Sorry, guys. You must have missed the boat if you didn't buy stocks. We did. But again, just like in 2020 of March where we bought stocks, that seems to be the bottom. Again, all things being equal, unless the Russians use tanks to invade Ukraine, which I don't think will happen, or some nuclear weapon goes off, something that's out of our control in terms of the stock market or what we know to be true, that's where we are. So April 2020, right? That's the biggest two-day gain. Where does that come from? That was basically right around April 22nd. So we talked about the analog. Remember, we were talking about that consolidation break. Remember, that was the key. We talked about the last 10 times that happened. I think it was 12 times that happened. We had a consolidation rise. The only 2 times that we had a consolidation for over 5 days and we fell again after a fall was in January early this year and COVID, February 2020, which was right here, right in the beginning of March. So we just read that, again, the S&P posted its biggest two-day gain since April 2020. So April 2020, and I'm looking at the headline, more than likely it's going to probably be right around April 7th through April 9th. I think that's the biggest two-day moves since then. That was the biggest one. That was the bottom. That was it. That was it. This was pretty much confirmation of it because after that we had a little sideways action and then we started moving up. So again, the most important thing is to have a little bit of context when you're looking at the markets. Again, let's go back to the technicals in the 1 hour. You could see the consolidation here and the break. Now we're right near the 50-yard line. Remember we talked about the football analogy? Again, we're kind of driving down the field. So again, what's the next level to look for, Carlos? What's really going to tell us that it's over? That, hey, we're going to be fine. For me to say that it's completely over, that, hey, you can celebrate, we're good, we'll probably just be around this level for a while, is 4,700. But the next level up, for me, to break higher to get there, which would confirm the move, more than likely would be 45.80. So 45.80, that's the line we're looking for next. We got 4,500, awesome work. 45.10 is really the 50% Fibonacci retracement from high to the most recent lows. So again, we're starting to get closer to the right side of the field, the other side of the field, near the highs. So when you get to 45.80, 4,500, we got that, great. 45.80, and then 46.67, 4,700 would basically be, congratulations, touchdown, you win the Super Bowl, we're going to be fine. But again, I'm a little more understanding that, thinking that we already hit that low. You could see it here right in front of me. This kind of price action was a breakout. It was a breakout that across all classes, across the high beta names, even quality names, they all did well today. It was everyone buying the dip that was intelligent enough to do so. That was it. And everyone who was basically caught at the bottom. There is another side though. Now everyone's probably thinking, oh, so I can go max long and put all my relax. Doesn't mean you won't get volatility here and there. You'll get some drops, of course. But here's what I'm really concerned with. And it's not really the S&P, it's more of the NASDAQ. And the NASDAQ tech stocks account for a big part, technology, of the S&P. I said this on Twitter. 15,607. We're at 14,868. Again, beautiful consolidation breakout like we expected. And again, that 100-day moving average, guys. I want you to remember this, and I'll do a video once we get there. 15,607. If this last 3 weeks made you nauseous or crazy, or you're really depressed about your tech stocks or high beta names, that's the time to take it out. That's the time to sell if you want to get rid of them. I'm not getting rid of anything, but if you want to get out of the names that have drive you bonkers for so long, maybe you're holding to Robinhood stock if that's what you have or something like that, or there's some names that you just don't want any more a part of, like Space or Clove or any kind of SPAC that you don't want to deal with. Again, I get it. Your target is right there, 15,607. Why do we have that target? Here's your first shoulder, here's your head, and then you get right here, that's your next shoulder. There's going to be more volatility in NASDAQ. We won't tap the lows of 13,715 or 14,000, granted, but again, you'll get a little more weakness, possibly towards the summertime, and then, of course, during the fall time, we get a little better. But again, here's your shoulder, left shoulder, your head, and then your next shoulder. I don't think it'll be as much in the S&P as it will be more in the NASDAQ. So again, that's a possibility and a high possibility. 15,607, that needs to be your target if you need to get rid of any junk in your portfolio that you don't want to own. Now, again, I don't know your portfolios personally. Maybe there's some high beta names that you went a little too heavy on. That's the time to get rid of them if you wanted to. Again, I have some high beta names in my portfolio. They're not touched. I'm happy. That's cool. I can write it out. I don't care. But not everyone's me. Everyone's very different. That's a good time to start consolidating your portfolio to make sure that, hey man, if we get a 20% fall, will I lose sleep about it? Those are the names that you don't want to worry about. If you have an Apple, you're not worried about it. If you have Microsoft, United Health, JP Morgan, or Berkshire Hathaway, you're not worried. But if you have Clove, or if you have Space, if you have a Roku, maybe for example, or a GME or an AMC, and you want to just cut bait and say, I cannot do this anymore, it's just too much, that's your level, 15,607 on NASDAQ futures. If you're looking for a QQQ level, it's 380. 380, tattoo that on your forehead. 380, get out if that's what you want to do, because that'll give us the next shoulder, and then we'll get a little more weakness, possibly retest 350, worst case scenario. And if we break above that and we get to 390, then forget the hell out of everything I said. We're in range for all-time highs again. And the world didn't end, and the world's fine, and everyone's loving each other, and everyone's happy. What a great concept. All right, let's take a look at some, let's look at the heat map for the S&P, and we'll answer some questions. Heat map all good, except for a couple of names, Pfizer, CVS, I think it's Northrop Corporation, Regeneron was down, Kellogg's was down. Some energy was down. Devon Energy was down. Schlumberger, they had a great last couple of days. Visa had such a great day on Friday, gave back a little bit. Wells Fargo and Charles Schwab. Again, Citrix, they're going to get bought out by a hedge fund. IBM was down, but for the most part, it was all green day. Most of your portfolio was probably green. Let's take a look at the groups. Consumer cyclicals, we know that. In a risk-off environment, risk-on environment, meaning that people want to take a little more risk. They want yields. Again, the stock market is up. Things are good. Crypto is up. That sort of thing. Consumer cyclicals are going to lead. Consumer cyclicals, technology, communication services, those guys are going to lead the way. Utilities, interesting enough, were up this way as well. That's not usually typical of a risk-on environment. Energy being the laggard. Wow, interesting. They haven't been the laggard in a while. Defensives, I know defensives would have been down. Materials, financials, healthcare. That makes a little sense. Utilities being up today that much was pretty interesting. But again, if you own utilities, you're using it for the yield than anything else. Cyclicals, technology, communication services, those are really your high flyers, your higher betas, the growth names. That sector is going to grow if you get a continuation of this. Now, here's the next question before I even see it. I know I'll get that question. How high can we go, Carlos? Much more can we go? 45.10 is our next break. 45.80. I would say 4600 is a huge resistance. We may go a little sideways action. Based on seasonality, the beginning of February is strong. Towards we get to the tail end of February, we get a little weakness. March starts a little shaky and ends pretty strong. So again, prepare for a nice, good 2 weeks. A little bit of sideways action at the end of February. And then March gets a little bit of sideways too. So that 4 weeks, end of February, beginning of March. And then at the end of March towards April, things start to get a little better in terms of upside for stocks. I would not like to be short here, that's for sure. The path of least resistance is the upside. We have a lot more to retrace to go. But again, 45.10, 4,500 was great. We broke 4,500. That's something I wanted to see. But 45.80 will get us in a nice range to get us to 46.67, 4,700 level. So again, I like this price action, but to be completely honest, guys, I wasn't surprised. I'm pretty sure this was bound to happen. We maximized the opportunity. If those of you guys who have been with me through the morning note and aftermarket recap, we've been saying it, that this is just way oversold. A nice snapback rally was definitely expected. Did I expect it to be this much? Yeah, I expect it to be soaring. That's why we hit so many calls today, and we did very well. So congratulations to our Signal members that joined us. Guys, all this stuff that we talk about, this is stuff that we discuss on a daily basis with our masterclass students. They know already what we're expecting, the game plan, broken down. This morning note and aftermarket recap is kind of like a condensed version of a masterclass where we go over the macros and we go over the charts and we go over why things move the way they do. So again, today you're feeling pretty good. Hopefully, if you're a subscriber, you're not surprised either. Nice green portfolio. And I would say this, prepare for it to be a little more green. You'll make a little sideways action, but you survived the correction of 2022. Let's answer some questions. Finally got some AMD. Awesome. GS. I can't complain. I'm up 7%. You think we're going to go to war? It seems that way. I don't know if we're going to go to war. To be fair, I'm not a geopolitical expert. I never claimed to be one. I don't control Russia. I don't control Ukraine. I definitely don't control the U.S. military. So, I mean, we can only hope for the best at the end of the day, and hopefully people come to their calmer senses, and then we could just move on. But there's always something like this every so often. There's always some kind of issue somewhere, name it, Syria, Iran. I mean, Middle East has always had issues. Africa's had issues. Europe, we've always had that. I mean, it's just a part of life in our world. It's just don't get along. Unfortunately, we all don't get along. I wish the world was a better place, but not to get too little wild with it, but war is actually good for business, and I hate saying that, but that's a fact. And what's a better way to boost an economy is through war, unfortunately, but that's a fact. Thought ALCS semiconductor. Let's take a look at that. ALCS. First thing I thought of with ALCS is American League Championship Series. Nothing comes up with ACLS, excuse me. I don't know much about this name, but again, looking at the hourly, it looks like it does want to break out possibly to around 66, 67. So I don't know much about them, but I was taking a look at the semiconductors as a whole, SOX. I talked about this today. There it is. Remember that channel we were talking about, guys? I said this morning, take a look at the semiconductors today. Maybe worth a shot, but AMD being with earnings and Qualcomm, the IV would be juiced. If you listened to this morning, I was talking about NVIDIA, and NVIDIA did well. The only problem with NVIDIA is a little pricey, but it had a hell of a day. So if you would have bought those 250 calls or 245 calls, you would have been in the money already at a 7% day. NVIDIA's got more to go, guys. I mean, you want to just take a look at the semiconductors in terms of an actual chart on a daily chart. Take a look at it. You could see a nice, perfect channel here. And again, we're going to probably get us buck to 36.20. So there is a little more upside to semiconductors. And then right around here, 36.62 would be resistance. If we could break above that, that'd be great. I think that technically would line up to where NASDAQ is right at that 100-day moving average. Maybe, maybe not. Just depends on how much of a move the semiconductors make. But again, keep in mind that 100-day moving average on the NASDAQ. Very key, guys. I want you guys to have a plan before you do anything. If you're cool with your portfolio and you say, Carlos, I didn't worry about no correction, I'm good, then okay, you're not worried about what I just said. But if you're somebody, again, that has a lot of these SPAC names, high growth names, you went a little too heavy, maybe that may be a good time to start unwinding that and starting with get back to index funds and get back to quality over lotto tickets. That's all I'm saying. BTC head breaking 40K, Mara long dated calls. I went ahead and hit Mara this afternoon. We had Mara calls over the weekend, so well done. Taking a look at the data here, let's take a look at the hourly. If you break on Mara above 24, I say fire away, and you could take a look at possibly the 25, 26s, or 27s, because the resistance is right around 27. You could do longer dated calls, sure, but I think crypto does bounce, and that's not a bad play. Just manage your risk, and you should be okay. I think Mara is a good dip buy here. I think Belligerent asked, good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. And that's pretty much it. I mean, again, when times are good, guys, it gets kind of lame. I'm not going to lie. It's only when things are bad. You guys have a lot of questions. You guys must be feeling great today. And I'm very, very happy that you guys are. It was a great day in the market. Your patience is going to pay off, guys. The world did not end. You survived. And you should be very proud of yourselves because this kind of stuff is very stressful, dealing with it every day. So I can only imagine the swings of emotions you guys feel. And it's a good thing that, you have an outlet here where you can ask questions and we can answer them and kind of give you guys perspective. So again, you never make a dime panicking, guys. And if you sold on Monday after that craziness, you're probably kicking yourself today. Just invest early, invest often, live within your means, and you're going to be fine over the long period of time, as always. One more P, please, TWLO, Twilio. Let's see it. Twilio is breaking out, just like most tech, is breaking out in the short term. Would I buy calls here? I think 210 is the resistance, so I wouldn't maybe trade there. Let's take a look at the 2-year. Yeah, I would say above 222 gets you back into support level range, and then you can target 247. If you want to own it, go for it. I don't know much about them, but I wouldn't trade it here, no. DraftKings, do you see them moving soon as football season is on? Yeah, we have the Super Bowl, so maybe get some new signups. But after that, there's really only March Madness, there's NBA, and there's baseball, and that's on strike. So that may be a little bit hurting of DraftKings. But DraftKings to me is definitely a long-term deal, man. Until actual sports gambling is legalized in more states, again, it's going to be a little sideways for DraftKings. Great day today, don't get me wrong, but I'm actually looking to buy more, not worried about them going up, to be honest with you. So I hope it kind of gets down a little more so I can get a little bit of a crack at it and buy some more because I really love DraftKings long-term. Thoughts on AMD earnings? AMD, I think they beat, but again, it's all about the reaction. Again, I'm bullish on semiconductors. Again, I would not play earnings though. If you're looking to play the stock, you have to wait for earnings afterwards. I think if they have a bad call or something like that, maybe we'll get a crack at 100, maybe if we're lucky. I don't think we will. I think AMD is a great company and we should be okay. There is a gap to fill at 105.48. Maybe we trace that after earnings, and I'll give you a crack to probably buy some more. What price to open a position AMD? I think 105 to 100 is great. If you want to buy it here, that's completely fine too. That's not a problem. But again, once you start getting to the 130s, 138s, you more likely miss the boat on buying it cheap, and you just have to wait again. That's kind of the issue with these kind of moves. They're sitting opportunity in your face, and we're so paralyzed with fear with all the junk in the news that people miss out, and that's the problem. Everyone tends to buy when stocks are rising. I didn't buy any stocks today. I want to buy when it's on sale, not when it's up. That doesn't make any sense. Think about it. If Best Buy had 50% off on TVs, you would go run and buy a TV today. You would do whatever it takes. But the stock market is a 10% off sale. No one wants to buy any. It's completely different. I get it. It's a mentality thing, and I get it. But once you change your mindset to that different mentality, you're going to be fine long term. What's the buy price for Facebook, which is Meta now? In regards to Meta, again, they report earnings today too, on Wednesday, guys. So again, I would not buy ahead of earnings. I'd wait for the call and see where you go from there. If we can get back down to 300, that'd be great. Below 300 is a great price, but again, we got to see what they did. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. Have a great rest of your afternoon. We'll catch you guys tomorrow for the morning note. Congratulations on your nice day in the market. Obviously, things are looking good. Questions don't come out as much when we're actually rising, and that's okay. But we'll be here to help every single day to answer your questions. We'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. Have a good one, guys. You deserve it.